Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Voice podcast. I'm Vernon R.E. Jones, managing broker, owner of Jones Homes, and for over 30 years we have serviced the 7-county Denver metro area. Mortgage interest rates continue to increase. And we're going to talk about that with a weekly update that we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about new home construction, talk about what rates are doing and what they're expected to do, and other items that might affect interest rates. As expected, the Federal Reserve Board raised interest rates 1/4 point. We anticipated this back in November, December of last year. We said interest rates are going to go up. And you think about November, December, rates were hovering around just under 3%. You could actually get a fixed rate under 3% if your credit's good. I think it was back in November. And 5 months later, the rate is probably fixed at 4%. So 1 percentage point in, 4 months, 5 months. They're talking about raising interest rates 2 to 3 times this year. Yesterday's being one of them. Inflationary pressure is causing the Federal Reserve Board to react this way, as obviously inflationary pressures, I'm sure you've all heard, is at a 40-year high. Obviously due to international issues, oil prices, things of that nature, definitely causing some unsettling in the interest rate sector. I will say there are some rumblings inside my industry that speculate that they could potentially raise interest rates 7 times this year. They're expecting probably to raise them all through this year and potentially next year. Again, depending on how inflationary pressures affect our market. Probably looking at, 4% right now fixed, if you got good credit. In 5 months, 1% raising. And that could be significant. The higher interest rates go, the less buyers are in the market. Because obviously they can't afford that 1 percentage point higher of a mortgage payment. So they are lessened. Shrinks the buyer pool. And but with inventory being at historic record lows, the home buying pace still remains high. Again, the rumblings of the interest rate hike being at 7%, it's probably, if it would go 7 times, not 7%, but interest rates being raised 7 times this year, it's speculated that they would be raised, instead of 1/4 point, they would be raised 1/8 point. A more incremental adjustment. But we'll see. But I will tell you, they are going to rise. New home construction rebounded in February to the fastest pace since 2006, which we love to hear this, up 6.8% from January. Housing starts surged last month, according to the U.S. Commerce Department. This figure was higher than the consensus estimate. We all thought that it wasn't going to be that high. Basically, I think we were expecting it to be 4 to 5%, but at 6.8, good news. Privately owned housing unit starts in February. We're at a seasonally adjusted rate of 1.7 million. These strong numbers suggest that builders had greater success navigating material and labor constraints in the month. Applications to build, a forward-looking indication for new homes to come onto the market, eased to 1.86 million units in February, though remained elevated. Basically, we're probably looking at a spring season of slightly more inventory. Potentially slightly fewer buyers because of the interest rate hikes. And that obviously affects affordability. But it will continue to be a competitive spring home buying season. And if you're ready to put your house on the market, I would advise you, always better to put it on the market in April rather than in May and June, which is when most people put them on the market, to get a head start. Otherwise, feel free to call us at 303-359-8218 with any questions. This is Vernon Jones with the Real Estate Voice. Thank you for listening, and always, as I say to you, be safe.